founder of Elixir Care. Today I'm going to be talking to you about safeguarding adults. Now, who can safeguard? Everyone can safeguard. Everyone and anyone. You don't have to be a professional. You can be anyone that has a concern about an adult. You can report it, okay? I'm going to be telling you about how to do that, the process, how you might feel. I myself have had the experience of having to safeguard on a few occasions. One in particular was actually newsworthy, an absolutely appalling case in a care home for individuals with learning difficulties, and the staff were abusing the residents emotionally and physically, which was awful. Through that process, I actually went through the CQC because that company was CQC registered. Now, that's not always the route that you go down, but in this instance, that's the route that I took. But I will touch more on that as we go on. So there are 5 types of abuse. There's physical, sexual, neglect, there's institutional and financial. Now, financial is money. Physical, obviously your body. Sexual, that's self-explanatory. Institutional is more sort of hospitals and care homes, and that's more to do with choice. Now, choice is something that you're meant to give anyway, so it does kind of cross over into the community, which is what we do. Things to look out for are bruises, especially with regards to physical abuse, any guarding or flinching or protection of certain body parts, any unusual behaviour, anything that's out of sorts, like withdrawn behaviour, keeping things from you like secrets, maybe more visits to the bank than they would normally take, which would sort of make you think, oh, like, is everything okay here? Anything that makes you think this is out of the ordinary, or normally it's just a gut feeling. It really is. Anything, you know, look deeper into it, or just tell someone. Normally what I do is, normally with safeguarding, I have to involve the police. Now, the police and social services, which are through your council, are your best friends. Honestly, they are invaluable on the whole safeguarding process. Amazing. So recently I had a financial safeguarding issue that I had to put through with an individual, a service user in the community who had learning difficulties, and he just made a new friend. That's another thing to look out for, is new people that come into their life, because sometimes people think that they could gain something out of them and take advantage, and that's not okay. And on this instance, my client, let's call him Stephen, a new friend, we will call him James. So Stephen met a new friend called James, and James was really nice, but Stephen had some personal hygiene issues around his learning difficulties. He was unkempt, and his friend James was really well kempt, very sort of a glam guy, if you could call it. They didn't really, it didn't look like a match, if that makes sense, and that made me suspicious to begin with. And I thought, okay. Turns out, long story short, James was taking money off of my client and saying that he'd pay it back, but he wouldn't, and he was stealing his medication. Oh, it was awful, it really was. So straight away I went straight to the police. I rang the doctors because I didn't know what to do, because obviously he's taking his medication. And honestly, as soon as I went to the police, that was an immediate safeguard. They got in touch with social services. I obviously myself got in touch with social services because I knew their social worker, and that was safeguarding for me. But at the time, it's scary, and you feel, are you doing the right thing? Because at the end of the day, this individual wants friends, and by me raising my concern, Stephen may have lost James as a friend, and that would feel awful for me because Stephen didn't have any friends really. But since James has disappeared, Stephen has now made more friends. One thing you can't do is see into the future, And I can guarantee if you do not report any concern you have, it will get 10 times as worse. Please report it. It will get worse. So you are doing the right thing. And it does seem a scary thing. It seems lonely. But once you open that door to reporting it, whether it's the police, to social services, whoever, you'll have people there alongside you to support you. As soon as you report it, that's it. Everyone's there to support you because you're doing the right thing. So be rest assured, you need to safeguard. So they're the signs. That's the process. And people in particular that are vulnerable to abuse, financial, physical, all the ones that I've explained, are learning difficulties, individuals with learning difficulties, or the elderly. These individuals tend to be more isolated. They tend to have less friends, less people looking out for them because they have less contact. And the abusers know this and they pick onto it. So I had another individual, a lady of mine, absolutely lovely, very, very warm, kind heart, and she had learning difficulties and she went and bought a laptop. So the guy that sold her the laptop decided that she needed a mouse, and he sold her a wired mouse and then said that she needed a mouse for when she was in the other room. So she went and bought 2 mouses. Then he said, oh, you need a keyboard. So she bought a keyboard for £100. And then he said, oh, you need a dongle for Wi-Fi. Even though she had Wi-Fi. She bought everything. It came to a total of £1,000. That was her savings. She didn't need the extra mouse. She didn't need the keyboard, and she certainly didn't need the dongle. But this shop person sold her all that because he knew she didn't know any different. Now that is exploitation. And that was what I safeguarded. So you can be abused or exploited or taken advantage of by more than just close people or people you know they know. It's a never-ending spiral, honestly. If you have a concern, no matter how weird you think it is, no matter how little or big you think it is, report it, safeguard it. I guarantee everyone will thank you, including the person that you're safeguarding. Okay. Any questions? Ask me, ask away. Anything I've missed, comment. I'm always trying to gain more knowledge. Knowledge is power at the end of the day. There's only so much that I can experience in my care industry, in my care career. So, you know, any feedback is absolutely 100% welcome, whether it's negative or positive. Please try and be nice. So, but yeah, sharing's caring.